All right, so I'm with Kelly Jean Brown. Did I say that right? Is it
Yeah,
Jean?
thank you.
Okay.
I appreciate it because some people leave them with the gene.
No, so when I did my little pre interview research, I noticed that you emphasized to put Jean in everything. So I'm like, all right, that's on purpose then.
Wow, thank you. I feel like
Yeah.
I'm on the hot ones or something. You know how he's always like really good at his research. So thank you. I appreciate that.
You're already complimenting me. That's what's up. That's what someone else compared me to the Hot Ones interviewer because I do thorough research. Apparently, I
Nice.
just do a quick Wikipedia search to be honest. But let's first start with you have a podcast,
hmm
right? Your podcast is called Slightly Bitter. What is that about? Where can people get that at? And why should I listen?
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, you can get it on all, podcasting platforms. So like
Hmm.
Spotify, iTunes, or Apple, SoundCloud, Google Play.
Hmm.
And it's funny, we actually came up with the name just kind of winging it. Like we were throwing around different ideas of what we wanted to do with it.
Hmm.
But we didn't really have like a structured idea. And so we were like, okay, fuck it. We just need to start this podcast.
Yeah.
And so that name like just came, like it came to us and we liked the tone of it. But it actually weirdly enough like completely fits the
Hmm.
whole podcast because all of the episodes are just basically us being bitter. Not really, but like
Yeah.
just talking about like past relationships and breakups and like getting screwed over and how we grew from it and stuff
Right.
like that. So it just kind of weirdly worked out.
And is your co-host also a comedian?
She is, yeah.
Okay, cool. So Kelly, you're a comedian, writer. It says a comedy producer as well. We'll get into all that, but number one, I'm surprised you're able. So you have comedian friends that are females, because I feel like that
Yeah.
demographic of people are the cattiest people I've ever come across in my life, being in
That's
this industry.
so interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think maybe they are behind my back and I'm just kidding. But they seem dope. That's what I love about stand-up specifically. Like
Uh,
I do acting and different stuff, but like
hmm.
I love this industry for the fact that I feel like most people are pretty supportive.
Yeah.
I mean, girls can be catty, but I've mostly experienced really supportive people.
Okay. The I don't know, the comedy scene so far that I've noticed. I feel like obviously we're the most self-absorbed of the talent pools people in different ways. But like you know I I've never met a more jealous group of people in my life. It's like, oh, that person got that success or that person got that show only because this or that. And like I really, really, really try to be as um appreciative of other people's shine as much as possible. I use it as motivation more so than like, that guy got lucky because of whatever, or she got lucky because of whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so you're from Silver Spring, Maryland. You're from the DMV, which is I hate that nickname.
Why?
I hate that you can just
DMV.
claim three cities and yeah,
Yeah, it's funny because a lot of the times will tell because people from California assume that like Maryland is bumfuck nowhere.
right.
I'm allowed to curse, right?
Oh, I mean, you already did it twice. It's too late now. Yeah, we're here now. My grandma won't listen to this episode. That's okay.
So I usually just tell people like I'll tell Californians that I'm from DC
Yeah.
just to make it easier. But then when if I meet a person from DC and
Yeah.
I'm from DC, they ask where and I say Silver Spring. They're like, you're not from DC.
No.
So,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I mean, it's so close. Like I could just go right into DC where I'm from. So
Yeah. How,
it,
how close were you to Good Counsel? And my one really good friends played football at Good Counsel.
oh, a ton of my friends went there. I was
Yeah.
probably like 10-15 minute drive.
Okay.
Yeah.
I actually went to Penn State too, so I have a little East Coast geography wherewithal in me a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good counsel is like bougie. Your friend must come from money.
Yes. Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so yeah, so Silver Spring, how long did you live in the area, and how did you end up coming out to California?
I was born and raised there, so I
Yeah.
didn't. I've lived there my whole life until I moved out here about like almost 5 years. 5 years it'll be in June.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Came out here first for acting because I was like a theater kid,
Hmm.
and then, I always wanted to be in film, so I was like, I'll move to
You
LA.
did the California thing.
Did the California thing. I
Yeah.
actually ended up in Long Beach, weirdly enough, up until this summer. So
Hmm.
Long Beach for 4 years. And then I started stand up and that kind of took over my life. So I'll do acting, like I still love it,
Yeah.
but stand up's kind of been the main pursue
And
as of
so,
years.
so how did you gain the confidence so you're a theater kid, you were doing acting, but like where did you actually think that you can make it like a career?
It was that's actually a really good question. It was the only thing that ever
It's like episode 67 or something. I've been doing this for a little bit now, so
you're it was just the only thing that's ever given me confidence. Like that
mm,
sounds so sad, but
no.
I was just a really really insecure kid growing up.
Hmm.
I was horrible at school.
Yeah.
I struggled a lot with like depression and
Mm,
like I just did not I was very lazy because of depression. So I never like excelled in anything except for performing. And that was like the one thing that I felt super good at. I felt
yeah.
like I was just gifted at it and I
Mm,
kind of always knew that I wanted to do it.
mm. And what type of acting were you doing? Is it like was it theater, or were you actually like behind the camera, or what type of stuff did you want to get into?
Well, I grew up doing theater, so I did a
Yeah.
lot of theater and dance growing up, and then, but I was always obsessed with film. Like I loved
Hmm.
film, and so I knew that I wanted to be doing like film acting.
Okay.
So then when I came out here, I did a little bit, but nothing like huge.
And you have to be pretty deliberate to like to get into theater. So how did that happen? You don't just walk outside one day and be like, "Oh, dope, a play. Let me just get my vocals together." Yeah.
Well, my mom put me in dance class when I was like 4,
Hmm.
so I always kind of was on stage,
Yeah.
and then I just like in school and stuff like that. I always really enjoyed reading scripts. Like
Uh.
I loved memorizing. That was like the one thing in school that I actually would study was like memorizing a script. I would never
Mm,
study for a test, but I would
yeah.
memorize a script.
I know.
So, but my brother actually took acting classes, and he's like 6.5 years older than me. So I always
Mm,
wanted to be like him. And
yeah.
he took acting classes and was like really good at
Mm,
mimicking people. And he never stuck with it, but
yeah.
I remember being like 5 and he was taking classes and that kind of made me want to take them like outside of school.
Right. And did you have like a play that you like really loved growing up, or
Like a
or
play.
yeah, or a writer? Yeah.
Well, I was obsessed with the movie Titanic when I was a
All right, I'm
kid.
just gonna end this interview now. That was the driest movie of all time. It was like 4 hours of people dying.
No,
You
I've seen
knew
it so many times that it feels short to me, but
so many times. You've only been able to watch it 7 times because it's such a long movie. Like,
I love that. I liked I liked the writing of that movie as far as like actual script,
yeah.
but my brother and I were also really obsessed with Mrs. Doubtfire growing up. So we would like
Okay.
see Robin Williams a lot.
Yeah.
That was my go-to.
Okay. Miss Doubtfire is like a classic. Okay, you redeemed yourself a little bit with that one. So then you said, hey, like, did you have like a fuck it moment, or what was like an affirming moment for you to make you try the move out west to
Uh,
Hollywood?
Hollywood.
Yeah.
Um, Honestly, I knew I always had to like either move to New York or LA because
Hmm.
Maryland wasn't going to cut it for that. But I think just film. I knew that like LA was better for
Right.
me. And I had family friends who lived in Long Beach, so that's how I ended up in Long Beach. So I was like, I'll
Okay.
meet them,
Yeah.
get settled, get my way in. And the family friend that I moved with, the dad is a musician, so
Oh, okay.
he knows the industry a little bit. So I was like, all right, that'll be a good like way in the door.
Yeah.
I mean, not like networking wise, but just like he knows kind of this area and the scene.
Yeah.
Also I love New York. Like I could live there.
Hmm.
Um, but I just also had a lot of like emotional attachment to my mom that I felt like it was kind of better for me to fucking like throw myself really
Yeah.
far and figure it out.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. When I chose to go to Penn State, it was because it was furthest from my family and friends. And I wanted to experience, somewhere where I didn't have any type of safety net or anything like that. And I was very happy that I did do that. It's been 5 years now. Looking back, where did you think you would be by now?
Oh God. Oh God, that question.
Yeah.
I never like I rarely, I mean I've done it before, but I rarely write down like 10-year goals or whatever.
Oh, I'm a big goal guy.
If
Yeah.
I look back, I haven't made these all like I hate myself. But
Oh, okay.
I mean I think I've come a long way as far as like confidence for sure and
Yeah.
independence and like things like me as a person, I think I've grown so much. But as far as like where I'd want to be financially and
Right.
career wise, I don't think I'm where I picture myself.
Right. Did
Yeah.
you did you did you happen to get into like any movies, or wasn't just commercials, or did like how did where did the acting career take off at all for you?
No. No,
No.
I
Okay.
did like a little bit of commercial stuff and like background and then I was working at an acting studio, so I was getting a lot of practice and
Yeah.
I was teaching improv classes while also taking classes.
Yeah.
Um, So, and I did a lot of on-camera stuff like in the classes, but yeah, nothing where I was like making a living,
Hmm.
you
It
know.
is my dream to be in a commercial. Like low key, like that's. I know this is not about me, this interview, but when I first started doing comedy, it was just like it was a thing just to see if I could do it, and then I found like you said, I was like, whoa, my confidence had never been so high as when I stepped off stage. It was like I'd never been that high before in my life. It's like the feeling I had. And so everything from that moment on, I've really just continued to kind of push and push, to the producing of the shows and now doing podcasts and just other, everything kind of started from me doing stand up. But I definitely want to, I think commercials are amazing. That's like one of my favorite things to watch on TV. Is just how many emotions are squeezed into, a 30-second, minute long ad. And I think commercials are like hilarious, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like not huge on like being in commercials, but I feel like I'd be really good at like um like pitching.
Oh my
I
God. I want to pitch commercials so bad too. People get paid to write the worst freaking commercials.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. So then you're taking that journey. And then who told you you were funny? Everyone was like, oh, yeah, you should
I
be a comedian.
so like when I grew up, I was kind of like the family comedian where like family would like get together and I would imitate all of them, like all
Yeah.
the members and just roast everybody,
Yeah.
which I'm not a roaster at all. Like my comedy style is not roasting at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I kind of just roast everybody in my family and then I had like an obsession in high school with Dave Chappelle where I was just like binge watching his stand up all the time.
Yeah.
Somewhere I'm from, by the way.
Oh, really?
Really say that. I like have to throw that in there. But
That's how you should introduce yourself. Hi, I'm from where Dave Chappelle's from. My name's Kelly J. Jean Brown. Yeah.
I'm Silver Spring, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I just watched him a lot and then I kind of was I started writing scripts too that I felt like the dialogue was like more for stand up, which like I feel like that's very confusing, but
Mm-hmm.
that like I would write things that would happen to me in my life and then
Mm-hmm.
like but this would just be funny as like a bit.
Right.
So yeah, I just kind of always wanted to try it.
Yeah. We're gonna take a quick tangent. Your top five Dave Chappelle pieces of work.
Oh God.
Because I've watched. I'm like that's my idol.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I know. I feel whenever somebody asks me who my favorite is, and I say him, I'm like,
It sounds obvious, doesn't it? Right? Yeah. Yeah.
well, his okay. Well, I don't. I'd have to like. think about that for a while. But I'll say my favorite
Mm-hmm.
is the like white versus black people smoking weed,
Oh yeah, right.
or the monkey bit. You know, the monk like fuck.
Yeah, more monkey pussy for me. Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, of course. I love saying that, and I get so mad when people don't get the reference.
Yes,
I'll,
yeah, right.
I'll just be around the house like, all right, fine, my monkey pussy for me, and it's like, what is wrong with you?
I also really liked his school shooting bit, which I was a little bit disappointed in it almost because
Hmm.
such a good premise, so
Yeah,
genius.
yeah,
But I went further with it. It was
yeah.
very
See, so when you watch comedy, you're watching like the behind the scene. It's ruined being doing stand up has ruined my ability to just enjoy stand up comedy. Like I'm like you said, like you're like, oh, he's setting up something, he has potential to go here with it, and then they don't. And it's like it's almost like I'm left blue balled, and other people are just, dying hysterically. I'm like, no, no.
it's funny you say that because I don't always have that issue. It's more so like this sounds so fucked up, but it's like very hard for me to watch specials when I feel really depressed about myself. Like
Mm,
I don't think I've watched any stand up during this whole
I
lockdown.
just started.
Okay,
I
yeah.
just started.
I've known a few other comics who've said the same thing. I like it's hard for me to watch
Mm,
somebody be successful while
right.
I am a failure right now. Like I don't
Hmm.
feel good about myself
Yeah.
standing wise, so it's very hard for me to watch, which is like probably not fair to say, but it's just
Nah, it's not. I mean, it's like it's teasing yourself. It's like, and I mean, to be perfectly honest, I'm at this stage in my life, I'm like one of the mentally most positive I've been in a long time, and so like I'm able to like start that grind again, watching, trying to get inspired, to get that going again. Like when you're on stage, it's like you're naked and it's scary, and you put a lot of yourself out there. And I just earlier this year with back when George Floyd and the bird watcher and everything was exploding off racially, like I didn't feel funny. Like, I didn't think it was appropriate to be making jokes at this time. But I guess enough time has passed where I'm ready to move past that.
yeah, it is. It's like a hard balance trying to figure out like too soon
Yeah.
and stuff like that for sure. I know I've been there before.
Yeah, right. And plus, I'm like, it's kind of cool. You can make a joke right now, where the whole world is going to get it, but at the same time, there's so many unoriginal people to me that will like copy jokes or use the same type of premises and stuff. And so I'm not that thirsty for attention where I need to do a Zoom show or something like that. That's not really what it's about for me. I really love the human interaction, the just being present with people. So I'll be patient and I'll wait. But yeah, have you participated in any Zoom shows or no? Yeah.
I refuse, literally refuse. I've done like a few writing sessions with
Mm,
like a group of comics,
mm,
but I can't do a show. Like I'm the same as you. I need
mm,
the interaction. That's stand up.
right.
It's live.
That's why I do it.
It's just not. I can't do it. And some people might be like, well, then you don't want to do it that bad. But it's like, no. I think who was it? Like Jim.
Those
I think Jim
people.
was so awkward where he was like, you like sitting in front of your Mac and like trying to do crowd work is fucking embarrassing. Like that's not stand up. It's live. Stand up is live.
Right. Yeah, no, that's so thirsty. I'm not in that much of an attention whore where I need, people to pay attention to me like that. But I got us off course. That's my fault. How did you start the comedy portion? So you love Dave Chappelle. Um, and he's always been a someone that you've emulated. You were the house roaster in the family, but how did you finally decide that, all right, well, let me go to this open mic and see what's up and embarrass the shit out of myself?
For real, because that's what it was. Um, it's actually like kind of I get kind of embarrassed now saying
Hmm.
like started because I feel like so many successful comics are so much cooler where they're like, oh, I just went into a cafe when I was 17 and
Yeah, right.
it's like, all right, my story was not cool, but So the acting studio that I was working at, um, the owner of the studio wanted to hire like a stand-up comic to
Mm-hmm.
like a workshop and
Mm-hmm.
see how many people joined it.
Right.
Um, so he did, and I was like, all right, why not start here where
Mm-hmm.
it's a small space, it's intimate, I'm like comfortable with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I did, and I was like not the best in the class at all. There were
Mm-hmm.
a funnier people, but I just loved it and like wanted to get better. I felt so it was like the first thing in a while that gave me like such an amazing weird confidence that I never had felt before, and
Yeah.
I just like keep going with it and get better. And it's funny because it was kind of a big class and only me and one other girl like kept going with it. Most people just took it and then dropped it. So
And that's the thing is comedy is a lane where it's like it's all up to you.
yeah,
There's no path that's already written. If you do this, you'll be successful. It's really just straight determination and will. And I'm definitely not the funniest person out of my friend group, right, or my family, but I am the person that decided to go down this road with it. But for example, I have one of my friends I saw this past weekend, and it's like it kills me because he's so freaking funny, but he just doesn't have any passion or interest to be naked in front of people on stage and just yeah.
yeah. So after the class, then I kept doing open mics.
Yeah.
Um, Same thing. I know one of my best friends is like literally way funnier than me.
Right.
So talented,
Easily.
so naturally fucking hilarious. And we used to work together, and like even the people at work, like they knew that I did comedy, but like they knew her as like the clown. And she came to open mic with me once. I like ended up kind of like or I don't know if I'd say convincing, forcing her
Yeah.
to do it. And she like prepared a couple things. She fucking killed it her
Right.
first time. I was like, "Fuck you, bitch!"
Right.
Like
Exactly.
um, she did, and like she never did it after that. And I'm just like, you have a
Yeah.
natural like you need to. I mean, I'd still consider myself naturally talented, but like she's so funny.
Yeah, for sure. It's very frustrating. It's like I don't want to share any of my comedy stuff with them because I know they would do it like 10 times better. Or it's hard. Yeah, yes, I'm jealous of my funny friends easily. Um, so okay, so you take this class, you and another girl from the class end up actually sticking with it. What's your strat? I know you said you're not like a big like 10-year, 5-year goal person, but what was why did you keep going on? You felt good about yourself, but did you think that was going to be your career, or are you just doing it for fun at this point?
No, I knew off the first class that like I wanted to pursue it as a career for sure. Yeah, I just kept going with it. I would go to open mics, and I went to. At first, I had really bad stranger anxiety because it was like
What does
still
that
kind of
mean?
new. Stranger anxiety.
Yeah.
I just didn't like going places where I was like the outsider and I didn't know
Mm,
people.
hmm.
So I went to an open mic that was like really, really popular, but I would only go to that one, and I would
Hmm.
only go to that other girl because I was like terrified.
Hmm.
Um, and so I only went there for like a few months. Like I didn't do like any other mics.
Yeah.
And, but every time I went to that mic, I would, aside from the first time, I bombed the first time, and then I just like was determined to get better, and I kept going to that mic, and they called it a mic, but it really was a show. It was a bar in Orange County that they always packed out, and it was like a mic that had been running for like 7 years.
Yeah.
It was really, it was really like it was really good feedback.
Yeah.
I went there, and I just like remember getting like this insane high off of doing well. And then once I like would build up confidence of like, all right, I need to
Mm,
do up mics and like
yeah.
branch out, then I kept, then I went with it where I started doing a bunch of others and you
Yeah.
know, news and stuff like that. But
Yeah. When I first started out, I try to stay away from as many venues or events where we're going to know people, because I just feel like friends aren't honest to you.
mm-hmm.
And I like the feedback from people like that have no reason to be nice to you. You know what I'm saying? And everyone, especially like comedy open mics are whack in the sense that like everybody's sitting there trying to remember their part that they want to go and do, right? So they're not really like giving you feedback while you're on stage, and then everyone, when you're first starting off, everyone's sizing up the other person, right? Like, oh, I'm funnier than that person, so it's not, But some of my favorite venues shows I would start out with were like mixed comedy show or mixed art shows where it was like poetry readings and hip hop or music. And, those were really fun to do starting out. But it wasn't until I got very confident that I then was ready to start performing in front of like people I knew or friends.
Right.
Yeah. And like looking back now that you've been in it for a little bit, what are some things you would have known to start out with?
Um, I think obviously like I wish I pushed myself to do like like other mics and not
Yeah.
just like be scared, because I think I might have been a little further along.
Yeah.
And I also kind of wish that I did like different ones more, because I kind
Mm.
of stuck with like what I knew.
Got comfortable.
I probably would have like transitioned to LA sooner, because I just kind of stuck, like I said, in my bubble.
Mm-hmm.
And um, I don't think I was grinding as hard. Like I think my thought was that I wanted to pursue it.
Yeah.
It wasn't really until I like transitioned into like more of the LA scene, then I was like grinding my ass off.
Right.
Yeah, when I was kind of in my own bubble, I wasn't really working as hard.
Yeah. And so have you had any like holy shit, I can't believe I'm doing this moments, or have you had any like really, really, really highs along the journey from comedy?
Yeah, I got on potluck at the Comedy Store a
Oh,
couple,
snap. Okay. Yeah.
which is like nothing for like somebody that works there. It's like it's just a mic, but
Yeah.
it's really good. I think especially the second time, the first time I even felt good the first time, and I considered that bombing.
Yeah.
But the second time I got on, I did really well, and I had a good spot too, which was really cool. Like a good spot on the list, and it was a pretty packed room, so I felt really confident, because I was like, that's kind of a bucket list goal, is to
Of
like
course.
obviously Comedy Store. So
Yeah, I remember going to the Comedy Store. It's like, they have like, it's like from like 7 to almost 3 o'clock in the morning or something like that. Yeah. And
yeah.
so it's like, it is really important to get those peak hours, because at some point you just get tired of laughing, you get too tired. So if you're there, at like 2 o'clock or something like that, the room's almost laughed out at that point.
Right.
Yeah.
I no, that's so true. I think, that being said, I just enjoyed like observing too, because
Hmm.
I started going to the Comedy Store like every night just to study.
Yeah.
And I, a lot of the times wouldn't even get up, but just I would just sit in the back and just watch like people that people would like pay to watch, and I would just get to watch. And then sometimes I'd like pass them in the hall, and that was like crazy, where I'm like, oh wow, I'm like
Yeah.
studying these people that I grew up watching. This is
Yeah.
like so just those moments of like realization where you're like, holy shit, this is
Yeah.
pretty cool.
I love asking comedians this question, but do you have like a demographic sweet spot of people?
What do you mean by that?
Like this segment of people thinks your humor is the funniest.
Oh, like age,
Age,
demographic.
region, yeah, race, yeah.
That is a good question. I mean, I feel like it sounds very narcissistic to be like, everybody laughs at
No,
me.
I get that
I,
answer too.
I feel like I reach pretty, I mean, obviously the stuff I write about is like from my experiences, so
Right.
a lot of people relate, but I feel like I've been able to connect with people that are older and stuff as well.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know why, but all white people love my comedy. I
Really?
have no idea why, but it makes me the giddiest when I get, an old white person to chuckle at my humor about my life.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. But yeah, no, you always get like one of the two answers. It's either like, oh no, comedy's comedy and I make everybody laugh. And it's kind of the answer you just gave me. And then, you get the, like, So I interviewed Angela Johnson before, and she said that I think diverse crowds get her comedy a lot more. For example, right? And I interviewed um, Black Pedro, and he talked about how people from like certain rural regions kind of appreciate more of his material as well.
I like her answer, diverse crowds, because I do talk about being biracial quite
Yeah,
a bit. So I guess that, yeah, that's, I guess I could say diverse crowds.
yeah, yeah. It's yes. Whew. Yeah. Okay. We're there now. 2020. Hey, let's talk about it. Let's open up the elephant in the room. How?
Okay.
Yeah. How has your pandemic been?
It's been okay. I feel like a lot of ups and downs have happened. I
Hmm.
think the beginning, I was like literally having withdrawals because I was performing like every night to then
Right.
go to. So that was, I'd say the first month was like really hard where I was just like, what the fuck do I do with my life right
How
now?
long did you think it was going to last? Because I for sure was really naive about how long it was going to last.
Oh, we all were. I thought, well, actually, it's funny. The last time I performed, well, I performed like a couple months ago outside, but before that, I performed like maybe a couple days before they shut everything down in March.
Yeah.
And I remember just being like, okay, like I want to have like a fun set tonight because this might be the last time for
Right.
2 weeks. I literally thought that in my head, 2 weeks. And
Yeah.
it was longer than that. And then I was like, okay, maybe July,
Right.
thought like the summer, it'll be fine. And then
Right.
that didn't happen. So yeah, I really didn't think it would be this long. I'd say, yeah, the first month was really hard for me just because I'm not used to being like not busy.
Right. Yeah. You
But
feel. I feel better when I'm exhausted from doing things. Yeah.
yeah, I just like being productive. But then it actually ended up like the following month, I ended up kind of having like a realization to myself where I was like, actually, you were like running
Yeah.
yourself ragged, where it was like not healthy. You were out. I mean, because I was working in Orange County,
Mm.
living in Palm Beach, and then I came out to LA for either a show or a mic every night.
Hmm.
So I was up at like 8 a.m. till probably 2 in the morning.
You were on the road more than you actually got to sleep in a bed.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would fall asleep driving. Like it
That's
was really
not good. You shouldn't say that on the interview. That's dangerous.
well, I'm okay. People are okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was bad and I kind of came to like this point where I was like, all right, there's nothing you can do. Like everybody else is screwed right now. So
Right.
why don't you take time to actually work on yourself and your mental health
Yeah.
and like be okay with sitting. It's
Yeah.
like everybody has to sit right now. You're not being lazy. Everybody has to sit.
Everybody is. Yeah. This was a great. I needed that. That it was like, hey, just it was a universe telling me to sit the fuck down. Like, just chill out, bro.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I actually got really, really good at being alone. Like I learned to love it. And I weirdly enough had like I ended up having like so much self-love. It was almost like it forced me to like
Yeah.
love myself
Yeah.
because I was just confronted with myself.
Right.
I also was like busy. Like yes, I was busy because of comedy, but I also was doing it so obsessively as like a distraction of my life. Like I think I had like a breakup and like actually I had like a couple breakups
Yeah.
and my job, like it was just all this stuff that I was like trying to just distract with by like just being busy all the time. So
Yeah.
then forced to like actually like be in my head and my thoughts was but good.
Yeah.
Um and so I learned to really enjoy this downtime and then now I'm kind of getting kind of sad again where I'm like what the fuck because it's almost like it's getting worse not better. I
Yeah.
thought it would get so now I'm starting to get a little stir crazy again.
I found out that I was a closet introvert. I had no idea. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, this is not so bad. Like this is I don't oh, and then I realized like how I mean I knew this about myself, but it like really hit the nail on the head when like you don't surround yourself around toxic energy, how much better you feel about yourself. Um And like you said, like at the right before everything kind of shut down, I was doing probably the most performing I had been doing in my career at that point, and I wanted to stop, but there was opportunities I was getting that I couldn't say no
Yeah.
to, so I was just getting I was so exhausted. And then work was stressing me out, and then there were some things going on in my personal life that was stressing me out, and like this was like the most perfect. This is the best pandemic of all time. I'm sorry. Like
Yeah.
you name a better, yeah. No, I mean Spanish flu, Black Plague, or this. Give me 2020 any day of the week.
I think I would have been happy if it ended like by now. Like it's been long enough. We're like I'm just scared more so of the fact of like things never going back to normal.
I don't
Because
want things to go back to normal. Remember, like racism. Yeah, like that's cool that white people like learned that what that was going on. That's kind of cool.
no, you're right for sure. But I just want comedy to like because I moved to West Hollywood and I'm like, why
Right.
did I like I
Right.
think comedy would come back and
Right.
it's not.
You placed yourself in the position to like take the fuck off, and then it's like, oh damn, like. But okay, early on in the pandemic, I was like, this is a dope opportunity because this is a big reset for everybody, right? And when things do open back up and you get back to it, you're gonna have all the people that just self-loathed for 9 months, or you're gonna have the people that really worked on themselves, improved on their skills and their craft, and are gonna come out the block hot pretty much. And that's what I told myself: if I don't come out of this pandemic with at least one new skill, I'm I will feel like it was a failure because we're all in the same position right now.
Yeah, no, so true. It's important to like pick up something new that you haven't tried.
So have you picked up new stuff? Like we've all picked up one quarantine hobby, and a lot of people would say drinking, but
Like we're sober during quarantine, which is bizarre, but I like stopped drinking basically. Like I'll have like a glass of wine randomly,
right.
but like completely stopped drinking pretty much, and I like don't even smoke that much anymore, which I'm kind of a smoker.
Yeah.
So it's not like I chose now to be sober, but I mean, I've picked up a few things, but I'm also very ADD, so I never stick with things, which is bad.
Yeah.
But I kind of like started playing a little guitar, which I like,
Okay.
and then I started drawing and like painting at the
Mm.
beginning. But I like pick up and drop things, like I've dropped it, all of those.
Yeah.
um, Honestly, just like meditating and self care has been a
Hmm.
big consistency for me. Just meditating and trying to be alone. I used to like when I was anxious, I would overwhelm myself with people,
Mm.
and I'm realizing that's like the worst thing for me. Like when I'm anxious, I need to be alone.
Right. Yeah.
I like try to listen to my body more, and like I'll just like I drove to Big Bear this morning just to like
Just this
have
morning, you just do people do that?
just like I know that sounds like a waste of a drive because it's like you went and then came back, but yeah, I just wanted to like go and be quiet away somewhere.
Yeah. Did you snowboard, or are you a snowboarder?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I would like to at some point, but I don't have that money right now. So I
Right.
just sat, meditated, and I went and got a crystal at a crystal shop,
Oh,
and
you're one of those.
I'm trying to get in. I still have a hard time believing them, but I just
Yeah.
like that of like holding something comforting.
Yeah.
But it's hard to like think that it's going to change your life. Yeah.
I mean, yes, I'm judging, but also no judgment at the same time. I'm always judging. So, so then also you mentioned you were biracial. My sisters are half white, half black. We have different
Oh,
moms, black families. It's long, complicated shit. But yeah, I mean, so how did you handle? Because I'm assuming you have a lot of white and black friends, and and your family's mix as well. So how did that impact you, back in March and continue on to today? What was that like for you experiencing it in LA? You said you're working in Orange County. Orange County is fucking crazy right now. It's like the deep South over there.
yeah. I'm not there anymore. Thank God.
Yeah.
I drove there not that long ago, maybe like a few weeks ago, because I was meeting up with a friend, and there was like Trumpers rallying, and
Yeah.
they like a shrine, and I was like, "What do
A
you do?" Like,
shrine.
no, somebody had a legit shrine. I should send you the picture, but they had like a gigantic flag of him, like
Yeah.
it looked very Hitlerish, on their house, and then they had like 10 American flags over it.
Yeah.
Like, and then they had like a very like stage type of light shining on it. It was really cool. Yeah. Um, it's been interesting. I mean, my family is very liberal, so I'm
Mm-hmm.
lucky. Both sides are, but yeah, it's obviously been crazy
Mm-hmm.
for everybody.
Have you lost any
I
friends because of?
not like close friends, but I definitely like people that I've known in the past or whatever. If they have some ignorant shit to say
Yeah.
online, like I'll give a unfollow real quick.
Real
But
quick.
I've honestly, I both sides annoy me honestly because I think the extremes are what
Right.
annoys me. Like I think too much ignorance
Mm-hmm.
or ignorance in general. Sorry,
Mm-hmm.
ignorance is obviously horrible and I won't tolerate it. But then like know-it-alls thinking that they're like doing the right thing and
Right.
trying to like boost their views on you is annoying too.
Right.
So both there's balance. There has to be a balance.
You have one side that's for me at least like hiding behind the U.S. flag, which is whatever, and then you have the other half just hiding behind I don't know, just the softest. There's just I don't even know what, like the softest Black Lives Matter flag. It like I'm trying to think, but yeah, it's just that you have both sides that are just on opposite ends, and to me, I think everyone's just really missing the point about it's like people issues, human
Yeah.
issues, and yeah, for sure. Like both sides bother me a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I guess also going back to like how you're saying, have I lost any friends? It's like also speaking on about both sides. It's also people who are very like performative that I don't want to associate with
Mm.
either. Do you really care about this issue and this cause, or do you just want to be trendy? You know what I mean? Like, when did you talk about this?
Right.
Only
It's like,
because,
yo, I don't know. I remember back in like a couple of years ago, you were saying some fucked up stuff, and now all of a sudden,
or you just weren't doing anything. So
yeah,
why now you all of a sudden act like you care? You know what I
right,
mean?
yeah, because it's
So
cool to care right now. That's why. Yeah, it's
right.
trendy. I I had about 10 or 15 people reach out to me, asking like asking, checking on me if I was okay, and then asking me to explain to them what my experience in America has been like, or just people saying like, they had no idea it was this bad. Like I'm definitely one of those where like I'm the only Black friend that some people have, or I'm the comfortable one that people felt reaching
Yeah.
out to. It was insane. This was. I cannot wait to tell my future grandkids about how America lost their shit when they found out that racism was real.
That's wild to me.
You didn't get
But
any
it's
of those?
people who like I'm their only Black friend or
You didn't get
something.
people reaching out to you asking you like, "Hey, like, what should I do, or how do I help, or like, what's happening?"
Kind of, yeah. I mean, I knew some people that were like weird, like they almost were like, I want to go to a rally, but I don't want to go alone. It's like, what? Like, or I want to go to a protest, but I don't
Yeah,
want to, I guess is a better word. But I'm like, I mean, what? But
like
it's
it's a
been,
social, like it was a social event. Like, no,
yeah,
go out there if you care. Otherwise,
exactly. It's like you don't need like somebody to babysit you. But it has been nice like realizing who you want to surround yourself with, because I'm now also dating a guy that um cares about this stuff, and I'm like, I don't know how I dated people in the past that this wasn't
yeah,
important to them,
yeah.
like, and that's on my part, like where were my standards, but like, like that was always important to me, and it wasn't really to them. So now dating somebody that like it's so important to them, like that's great. I want to surround myself with more people like that.
Yeah. That's good. You have standards now. Good job. Good job. All right, so looking forward, once we are able to get back out there, I mean, what's your strategy getting back out, what are you hoping to be able to accomplish here when we get going?
Career wise or like protest wise?
I was going career wise, you know,
Okay.
to wrap up the racial thing. I just really hope that everybody doesn't just get tired or there's this thing at my job right now. It's called ally fatigue. People are taking off of work because they're just so stressed out from caring about African Americans and other racial injustices. And I told my grandma this, and she couldn't she has never laughed so hard in my life. Ally fatigue is a thing apparently going around corporations where white people are so inundated and stressed out with having to care.
What?
So they're getting paid time off, paid vacation time off.
Wait,
Ally fatigue. Yeah. Ally fatigue.
what? I
Ally.
mean, oh, okay. Wow. Okay, that hit me right there.
Ally
Sounds,
fatigue. They've had to think about African Americans for 7 months now, and it's just oh so stressful.
that is really sad.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could get into that for a long time.
That's I have my first 20-minute bit written about that. I can't wait.
Love to hear it.
Yeah.
That I'm gonna have to tell my mom that one. That's pretty fucking wild.
Yeah. You should check on all your white friends, make sure they're okay.
They're good. They're fine.
Okay. All right.
They're good.
Yeah.
And they'll be fine.
Yeah.
They'll be fine. Career wise, I mean, I would like to be doing stand up next year. I hope that it will, revive and be alive and okay. I would like to continue podcasting for sure. It's been a little substitute. I wouldn't say replacement, but just a nice little substitute where we could get a little creative fix in there. I want to continue to write and film. I've been doing some like sketches and things with other comics, and that's been fun. Like every time I do it, I'm like, I need to do this more. It's just, it takes time, but I would love to put more time into it. So yeah just keep grinding is what I see myself doing.
Yeah. If you need extras, I'm your guy. I'm trying to put myself out there more.
Okay. Do you want to, I mean, I'm sure there's a role in there for you.
Oh yeah, I would take a bigger role, but I start at bare minimum. Yeah, I know I need to pay my dues before I get, starring roles here. So if you need
it's chill. It's just like a sketch. You're good.
If you need someone to hold a tree in the background or something, like I have the steadiest hands in the game.
Okay, sounds good. I keep that in mind.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so that's good. Well, I like to wrap up these things with cheesy questions, so I'm sorry, but if you could go back and tell yourself one thing before you ended up moving out here to California, what would be that one message?
Oh God, don't do it. I'm just gonna. I got confused with your question. I thought you said before you moved to LA. So I was thinking.
Yeah, before you moved to LA. Yeah.
You said from Maryland.
Oh, yeah.
I would tell myself that.
Oh, you thought I meant so West Hollywood? I got you. Yeah. Yeah.
I would tell myself like, this is the corniest fucking shit I'm ever.
It's a corny question.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I would say to believe in yourself. I think I struggled a lot with like no confidence, and I feel like self-love is the greatest thing you could give yourself. So I would just say believe in yourself.
Okay. Who would play you in a movie about your life?
Ooh. Do they have to look like me?
Hey, I asked you the question.
Okay. Shit. That's hard. Okay, she doesn't really look like me, but I really like Kate Mara. She doesn't look like me at all, but I've been watching her lately, and she's like a really good actress. So I'll go with her.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? I'm going to change that.
Okay.
Change Mandy Moore, only because she's my favorite, like OG. Mandy Moore.
That's a throwback. Okay.
Yes.
And last one is what what movie do you wish you could have been in? Actually, I have two more. What movie do you wish you could have been in?
Titanic.
Oh, Jesus Christ! You so okay? You would have been one of the waiters on the boat, or
Okay, I was telling somebody this the other day. The coolest thing about being in that movie is everybody would be important in that movie. You know, if you're in the sinking scenes, those are important scenes. So everybody, even if you're an extra, everybody in that movie is important.
the band was playing as the ship was going down.
That is important.
I,
That's a key part of the story.
that's not survival tactics. And then, all right. So, what is your dream lineup that you would be featured on? Comedy lineup. Yeah, that's a good one, right? I just thought about that.
Okay.
Who's the headliner? And you have to include yourself in there.
Okay. Okay. So me.
Okay.
So myself, Chappelle, Bill Burr, Chelsea Handler, and Hannibal Burrs.
That's a fire lineup. That's a fire lineup. Hannibal Buress is the most slept on comic.
Right?
Yeah.
He has been gone for some time, but he's amazing.
Yeah, for sure. The one he put out on YouTube right as the pandemic started, the was Miami Nights was hilarious.
I told you I've had like a breakup with stand up where I'm like, I'll do it. Like I've done mic where I'm never stopping, but it's like so hard for me to watch.
No, I know. Listen, I'm in a different place than you right now. I'm happy again. Okay. So you work on yourself, you love yourself again. And when you get there, then you turn on Miami Nights. It was good. But no, seriously, Kelly, thank you so much for your time. Plug whatever right now. Plug everything you need to plug.
Oh, okay. You could follow me on Instagram. My handle is, and I think it's the same on Twitter. It's Kelly_J_Brown. And then you can also visit my website, which has like all my platforms, my podcast and all that, which is kellyjeanbrown.com. And then my podcast is Slightly Bitter.
Cool. Well, Kelly Jean Brown, thank you so much. Tweets are pretty funny, so I would recommend the follow. Yeah, I was doing research today. I was okay. She got skills. Okay.
Hotter. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. But I appreciate your time.
Great. Thank you so much. I had fun. Thank you.